Hello, you've clicked onto the Waters and Stanton video channel, and we publish videos on all sorts of topics, but occasionally there are news items which I think are worth mentioning. And the news item that we're covering today is a new handheld transceiver from YAESU. YAESU just announced the FT-5DE. Now, YAESU, I think, probably produce more handhelds than their competitors. It's a part of the market that they have cornered very well. And of course, they also have their own Fusion digital mode, which is proving very popular. And there's a lot of digital mode repeaters around the country. And it's worth checking to see whether in your location there is a Fusion repeater. And the reason I say that is because handhelds are now widely used for repeater operation. Now, if you're a newcomer to ham radio and you're thinking of buying a handheld radio, you can buy a handheld radio for £50 or £60. There's lots and lots of choices to be made on the internet, but primarily they are for point-to-point contact or some of the basic, more traditional FM mode repeaters. But more and more repeaters now are turning to digital modes, and there's also all sorts of clever things you can do with a lot of the modern handhelds. Now, the reason I sort of mention this is because if you're a newcomer and you buy a handheld radio, you may find that there's not many contacts to be had. You may be in a location where there's not so much FM activity around, or you're in a poor location where just a handheld is not going to get you very far, because all these handhelds are fairly low power. But there is an area that perhaps some of the potential purchasers have missed out on, and that is that a handheld can actually prove to be quite a good mobile transceiver. You can pick up quite a low-priced magnetic mount to go on your car, and if you go onto our website, you'll see some cheap magnetic antennas, dual-band antennas, that would enable you to use your handheld as a mobile transceiver. And of course, it also means that you can drive up onto a high bit of ground, a hill somewhere, and enjoy contacts that you wouldn't otherwise get at home. So if you are thinking of buying a handheld, I think it's worth considering that it may be a good investment to buy a mobile antenna, a cheap mobile magnetic mount, plop on the roof of your vehicle, and you'll certainly extend the range of the handheld and have more fun. So anyway, let's look at the YAESU FT-5DE. The FT-5DE is very much like the FT3 handheld, same physical size really, and it's got a very nice sharp screen. Now, I should say from the outset that the radio is not currently available, but we are expecting it in the next few weeks, so it's not very far away. But as I say, it's got a nice sharp screen and it's dual band. One of the features which they promote very prominently in their advanced specification for the transceiver is that it's got two separate receivers, so you can have true dual receive on the same band. So you could have dual receive on 2 meters on 2 different channels, dual receive on 70 sems, 2 different channels, or dual receive, one on VHF and one on UHF. So that's quite a handy feature. It's also quite tough. They mention sort of rubberized shock absorption, so I'm not quite sure how tough it is if you drop it on the floor. But anyway, they have looked at the ruggedness, if that's the right word, of the transceiver, and also it's waterproof. So it's an all-weather transceiver by all accounts. It's also got Bluetooth features which will please an awful lot of customers. There are 2 transmission modes and 3 reception modes. The transmission modes is FM and the YAESU Fusion mode. On receive, you've got the addition of AM, and it will actually cover the AM broadcast band, so you can listen to your local radio station, listen to the sports, cricket, football, or whatever interests you on the medium wave band. It also covers the shortwave spectrum up to 30 megahertz, and again you've got AM reception there, so you can listen to shortwave broadcast. It's got generous coverage on VHF, as well as having coverage of the 2 meter and 70 sems bands. It also covers the AM aircraft band, the FM marine band, and it covers a good chunk of the UHF spectrum. And I'm going to put on the screen a summary of the basic frequency coverage of this radio. I also noticed that it covers the 4 meter band on receive, so I presume that's FM receive, so you could potentially have perhaps a crossband QSO with somebody on 4 meters. I'm not quite sure of that, but anyway, it seems to cover 4 meters. There's also a belt clip that comes with it, and the battery that comes with it is 2.2 amp hours, so it's quite a chunky battery, so it certainly will last for some while. And also I should mention that the audio output is 1 watt. That's pretty meaty for a handheld. They do emphasise it's 1 watt, so again, if you're going to use it in the vehicle, 1 watt audio is going to be great, even if you're sort of motoring down the motorway with sort of a fairly high noise level, as you do get with some cars. I think 1 watt will enable you to 1 watt audio will enable you to hear what's going on. And of course, with 5 watts on transmit, which is the maximum power output, that will work quite well as a mobile radio. So it's good to see that YAESU are bringing out new equipment still, and as I said right at the outset, they are pretty strong in the handheld market, and this is a pretty sophisticated radio. If you want to read more about it, it's now on our website, and the retail price I think is going to be £429, and we are taking pre-orders, so go onto our website, have a look at it, and if you want to order one, then just place an order with a small deposit. I think delivery is going to be fairly imminent, so it's quite likely we're talking about a week or a couple of weeks or so. But keep in touch with our sales guys, and if you want one of these radios, then you know where to go, Waters and Stanton. Thanks for watching this short video. It's a news item, as I said, and we have some more upcoming videos, so please press the subscribe button, and it would be my pleasure to have you join us on this channel. In the meantime, take care, enjoy your ham radio, speak soon.